3, 2, 1. Relax, it's just sports. Woo!
Woo!
What a week.
A week where we don't have to whine about how bad the Bengals were.
I know, we're coming off a bye, double bye, Bearcats, Bengals, refreshed. There was so much drama last week, which we didn't touch too much on or at all because we recorded in the bye week. Well,
we're chilling now.
we got a lot to talk about there because I think some of that stuff we do have to talk about. Just antsy-meatsy with, just so we do that. But we got a lot to talk about. Obviously, we're talking about the Bengals, Joe Burrow back-ish. Talk about that. Talk about the Steelers game coming up, bye week in general. Bearcats control their own destiny still, somehow, some way. FC Cincinnati, hell is real. We'll talk a little bit more about that because they have like the only really recognizable name across the entire sport and world coming to Cincinnati.
Yep.
There was also a crazy headline in a paper saying like how to watch Lionel Messi. It's like, yeah, but like this is fully the play. We'll get into that. Basketball season, I pretty much nailed what I thought about Xavier.
Close.
Pretty much is close. UC Hoops, big game tonight, which will be tomorrow when you listen, but still, we're going to talk Cincinnati in general, in total. Fun baseball stuff, awards starting to roll out, some Reds Hall of Fame stuff, and Cincy Dude in the News is one I'm so locked in for this week. It's a fun one.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to say goodbye, but first, like, comment, subscribe, Apple, Spotify, YouTube. Interact with us on social media. I answer some people. I answer a good amount of people.
Yeah.
And
You're one of the people. You're a man amongst the people.
yeah, I answer the people, and I've been doing this thing now that if you do a TikTok comment to me, my favorite ones do the video replies. I'm in on TikTok right now. I mean, I've always been in on TikTok, but I'm really I'm doing 3 to 5 videos a day.
Yeah, you're super Gen Z.
Yeah, I literally am. Okay, speaking of people our age, Joe Burrow.
Back.
Okay, before we get into, so Joe Burrow, he is on the 21-day open period, which I think people don't even fully understand.
Yes.
Basically, that means he's able to practice again, and in theory, he could play this Sunday. Zach Taylor said he's not playing this Sunday, but in theory, he could. His goal, which he wouldn't say, but is Thanksgiving against the Baltimore Ravens. Before we get so into all that, my thought on why Joe Burrow talked, his press conference.
Because let's just note for the people.
Let's note for the people.
Joe Burrow has not spoken since he got injured. He
57
didn't
days.
speak right after it. He didn't speak
When
right
they
before
told us he
surgery.
was going to speak in the coming days, I guess they didn't lie. This is just 57 days later. It was the coming days. There was just a lot of the coming days.
Yeah.
Okay. My theory on why Joe Burrow, because we didn't know Joe Burrow was going to speak until Monday. I was at Paycor Stadium when I got the email, Joe Burrow speaking in 3 hours. And it's like, well, good thing I'm here. I was there anyway. We speak to Zach, practice, open locker room, first day back from the bye. My theory on why Joe Burrow spoke on Monday, there has been so much negative press and PR around this Bengals team, specifically the defense. Chase Brown's comments, which I talked to Chase Brown about. He didn't want to talk much about it, but we talked off camera about it. There's been so much negative press around the Bengals. It was like, Joe, please take one for the team. And normally Joe probably doesn't want to do that. He was even asked, it was a clumsy-footed question by the reporter saying, how much did you miss being here talking to us? He goes, I didn't miss talking to you guys. He doesn't. He's not a media guy. But I think it happened on Monday because it's all right, clean slate. We're going for the Steeler week. Let's not make every single story coming back about how we have maybe the worst defense in NFL history.
And I think that, because I obviously watched it, I had to write it up for here. I think that he was the best Joe I've seen in a long time.
He always is when he has months off. So when we get Burrow for the first time of the season, when we get Burrow coming off of an injury, it's always the same Joe. It's a good Joe. He's been away from it long enough. When you get him the weekly Joe Burrow in the press conferences, watch paint dry.
It's a lot of yes.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I like Joe. So that's what we get on the weekly press conference. When he has time away, and he does his training camp one, coming back from injury, week 1 of the NFL season, something that people don't remember but playoff Joe Burrow because it's been half a decade almost. That's when Joe gives us the good stuff. And by the good stuff, just himself.
Yeah.
When it's the weekly monotony grind, I think he's annoyed by it. He has nothing to say. And there's a point of me that understands that, but it's a point of me that's like, it's also your job. But I think it is who Joe is, and he's a deep thinker, so I think he's had 57 days to think.
Mm-hmm.
So he was ready. Anyway, that was why I think he came out. But I was at practice. And he didn't do much. Flacco still got it with the ones.
Yeah, so he was limited. So what does limited mean when you're out there? Like, what is he actually doing?
So he was like doing what the other quarterbacks were doing.
Okay.
But like quarterbacks, like besides like throw the ball, don't do much. He didn't do much in the 11 on 11s, which is like their scrimmage-ish type. But they don't, honestly, midweek practice, especially a Monday practice, is pretty low key, even if you are a full participant. But he was out there like with the quarterbacks. Excuse me, limited is different for every position. Like, if we're talking about a lineman, he's probably not having any contact at all in practice. He might not even have pads on. They might just be doing cardio, like, which is separate from the rehab cardio.
Yeah.
He was like fully with the quarterbacks, throwing the football, talking to the receivers. How much that matters, I don't know. I do know some of the guys in the locker room. I know, like, Chase Brown said it, Jordan Battle said it. Like, having him out there does bring us, like, a burst of energy. But Joey, quarterback's not the problem right now.
No, it's not.
We could focus on Burrow for a second, but a quarterback is not the problem. If Joe Burrow could throw on shoulder pads, a helmet, play safety,
Linebacker,
tackle, solo tackle, then I'd feel great about Burrow coming back. But at quarterback, yes, Joe Burrow is one of the best quarterbacks in the world. But right now, that's not the problem. Joe Flacco's playing great. When Joe Flacco's at quarterback, they've been the best offense in the NFL the last couple weeks.
Yeah, definitely not the issue. Some things that he did mention that I wanted to just kind of talk about. First, he mentioned crystals.
He did. Mentioned here second.
Crystal watch.
First by GQ, second by us.
Yeah, crystal watch. He basically said, yes, I did use those crystals. Then he tried to back off of it, go like, they probably didn't work. Like, who cares? And I'm like, okay, well, you put them up. So.
Well, the first thing he said was, doesn't everybody have crystals? No, we don't, Joe.
But that's very into his mind, if you will. Other than that, though, the thing that I actually thought was super interesting is he kept being like, there's a lot of variables for when I'm going to come back. I wanted to ask you, because a lot of people online were wondering what those variables were. How much of that is his literal health, and how much of that is how good this team is going to be? It's
probably more how good the team is going to be than his health, because Joe Burrow, if the team was pushing for like a playoff spot and they were going to make the playoffs, Joe would go out there with no foot on. Like, that's just who Joe Burrow is. If there's a 1% chance, he's going to make it 100%. Now, how much do you risk re-injuring? Or because it's not just a turf toe injury that he could hurt, which is really the bottom of his foot. You can, when you're coming back from injury, you have to be careful with other parts that you're compensating for because of the injury. He's going to have a special shoe that he has like all this stuff in to make him be able, I'm not a doctor, if you couldn't tell. So he's going to have safety precautions, but how much do you actually push that based on the ROI, the return on investment? So he's not going to push himself to get re-injured if this team's out.
Yeah.
Like if the Bengals lose the next two, he's not playing this year.
Yeah.
Bengals win the next two. That Thanksgiving against the Ravens is looking very legit. Now, at the same time, if they're dominating teams, if they go, I'm not saying they will, but let's just say.
I know, I love this world, yeah.
I'm just telling you, like, you asked the percentage. If they go out and they win by 20 points the next 2 weeks, which I don't think they will. They have the Steelers in Pittsburgh, who I think they'll beat, but I don't think they'll dominate. And then they have the Patriots here in Cincinnati.
Much harder game.
Yeah, what, they're 7-2, the Patriots?
Yeah.
With a great defense. So I don't think they'll win both games by 20. I don't know if they'll win both games. But in a world where they win both games by 20, and Burrow doesn't feel 100% yet, maybe he waits another game. Mm-hmm. But I do know well before his injury, when he saw Thanksgiving in Baltimore, he was mad. Because this is the third year in a row, Thursday night football, Bengals-Ravens in Baltimore. Mm-hmm. And all of those games have come down to the final second. Well, the one he got hurt in.
I was going to say, and also feature injuries, a lot of them.
He got hurt in. That's where he had the wrist injury, was in Baltimore on a touchdown pass to Joe Mixon. Mm-hmm. The following year was the shootout to the very end, and it wound up the 2-point conversion was no good. So if he can, he wants to play in Baltimore.
And I know from what he said, like Burrow wants big primetime games. Like he pushed for the Madrid game.
He wants international games specifically.
Yeah,
yes.
but he's also been like, hello, can we get some more primetime games? So I feel like he's like, yes, let me shine on a big stage. Thanksgiving night is perfect stage.
Oh, don't let it fool you. Nobody likes big stage more than Joe Burrow. He might be like, oh, I'm low-key Joe. He even says, growing up watching Monday Night Football, he even talked about years ago. I found this old clip that came up. I forgot what podcast he was on, but talking about watching his dad in action in the middle of the week, coaching at Ohio. Like he likes that primetime standalone stuff. So if Joe can come back and the Bengals are not mathematically eliminated, he will.
Okay.
But his health will start to become more of a topic if the Bengals don't win, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Speaking of that, he quite literally laid out the path to the playoffs during that press conference, which not that we didn't know, but he laid it out for all of us.
I always think it's good to hear that from a player, though.
Yeah, because I think especially yes, the AFC is kind of bad. Like
AFC or AFC North?
No, the AFC is kind of bad.
There's a few teams, but yes.
Yeah, and so there is an option, and one of the reporters asked, like, well, are you thinking about the wild card? And he was like, no. I'm thinking about winning the AFC North. There's still a path to the AFC North. He talked at length about it, which I had never heard him do before, and I really liked it.
One thing, Burrow, unlike other quarterbacks, as much as we give him a hard time that he doesn't give us that much, and when he does, it's something very introspective. He does love football and is a fan of the game. So he's doing the math like we are. And so yes, no, he doesn't do it often, but he does do it because it's kind of I know, we're not dumb here. We know what's going on. So I did see a TikTok of this guy. I wish I wrote it down to give him credit, but it was good. It was on a whiteboard, and it was going kind of viral, at least in the Cincinnati circles, but I thought I saw it everywhere. It was him explaining how the Bengals can make the playoffs as a wild card team.
I saw that, yeah.
So 9-8 could get you a wild card spot this year.
I think the wild card's an option, but I liked hearing Burrow say, actually, the goal can still be the AFC North. Clearly, what Burrow believes is also probably what the locker room is thinking, which is we come out and win against the Steelers. We still have games against the Ravens. We still have a game against the Browns. If they beat the Steelers,
they're still 3-0 and perfect in division play.
So I think he's actually, insight into our locker room, we're not caring about the wild card right now. We still have a good chance at the AFC North.
So how I took that quote was that he doesn't think they can win the wild card anymore.
Oh, yeah.
That 9-8 doesn't win you the wild card. There's a world where 9-8 could win you the wild card. You don't want to deal with that because you are so lucky, the Bengals, that this is the worst AFC North in decades. That 9-8 will win you the division.
Speaking of how to win the division, Steelers are 5-4. They sit atop the division.
Yeah.
Steelers
stink.
Suck. Terrible. I think we all agree on that.
And that's purely just play. That has nothing to do with this being in Cincinnati. The Pittsburgh Steelers are a bad football team.
Yeah. If anybody watched the Chargers game, they know. Bad team.
I think Mike Tomlin thinks the Steelers are a bad football team. Yeah. Did you see that interaction with the reporter?
I did.
Loved that.
Yeah.
That was vintage Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin famous for his responses to reporters.
Yeah, and sometimes they're a little obnoxious. I loved this one. And it was obnoxious, but I still loved it. Reporter said, how would you assess Aaron Rodgers' play? And he goes, how would you assess it? I hate when a coach does that. But this was kind of funny. How would you assess it? Next question.
Yeah, not a real question. Simply, how do you think? Anyway.
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers might have played the worst game of his life outside of September 11th when he tore his Achilles.
I actually looked it up. It is not his worst game ever, but it's his worst game as a Steeler, obviously.
Sure.
He's had some random bad games with the Packers.
As every quarterback has.
As every quarterback who's 41 years old
and
has.
loves crystals.
But I think Steelers 5-4. Ravens 4-5, thanks to Lamar coming back, but that's only one game ahead of the Bengals.
No, this is wide, and they play them twice.
Exactly, world is still wide open.
Ravens are good though.
Ravens are good with
Ravens
Lamar
are
back.
Really good. Ravens, I think, are going to win the division.
You never know.
Oh, I think the Bengals mathematically. Here's the thing that I'm going to have to say though. I'm happy to play these mathematical games, the Bengals eliminated, not eliminated. None of it matters unless you win football games. Like, that's how I always feel. Like, when we're talking about baseball, and the team's already proven they could win 70 times, the Bengals won 3 times.
Famously.
You got to win more. And 2 of those were the first 2 weeks of the season against the Browns, who I officially think are the worst team in football, and them are the Raiders. The Jets won. Do not look at me like that. And they beat the Bengals. And the Jaguars, that was a weird game. But I also think the Bengals are probably better than Jaguars.
Yeah.
And then the Steelers.
And then the Steelers.
But so before I can start saying all you got to do is win these games, there is no all you got to do.
Yeah.
Because you lost to the Jets, you lost to the Bears.
Bears who won again this week.
Sure.
Somehow on like a 6-game winning streak.
There's a reason you're laughing. There's a reason you're laughing.
I am, yeah. I think for me, yes, you are correct that the Ravens are good with Lamar. The Ravens are famously known for losing games that they should win.
Not to the Bengals, except for the Tyler Huntley game in the playoffs. The
Sam
Hubbard,
Hubbard.
Cincinnati Kid.
Yeah, beautiful call by Mike Tirico. But I think that there is still a chance because there is a high chance that the Ravens come out and somehow lose to the Browns or just have a completely rough time.
Sure.
That's obviously a possibility.
It's the division. Anything could happen.
AFC North is a wild card altogether. Let's see what happens. Do you want to talk about Jordan Battle and Chase Brown?
Yeah, a lot of people getting real. Well, let's talk about Chase Brown. So for those who don't know, he got in trouble with Zach Taylor for saying the comment. I asked him the question about how do you make sure you guys don't turn on each other, how do you support each other, whatever. And he goes into this whole thing, we're a team, we're a team, we're a team, and then he stops and says, we scored and went ahead, just finish the bleeping game. Mm-hmm. And he said, he dropped a bunch of F-bombs, and he said, just finish the game, which is how everyone feels. It was a normal comment. It blew up online. SportsCenter reached out for the quote. NFL Network reached out for the quote. It was everywhere 2 weeks ago after the Bears game.
And the quote that was grabbed was only just finish the bleeping game.
Yes.
It wasn't the first half of it.
It wasn't the whole thing.
Yeah.
And which is part of it, and he knows that. But I don't get why. I get Zach Taylor being upset. He goes, I don't want us to look like we have a divided locker room because Zach Taylor might be coaching for his job. And if you lose the locker room, that's how you lose your job. Mm-hmm. But I also think it's, he's very much wants everyone to be together, yada, yada, yada. I don't think what Chase said was bad, truthfully. And this could be biased because I am friends with Chase.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's bad because I want my players to be angry. I want them to, what we all are thinking and seeing, so are they.
Yeah.
They're people. Obviously, if they make a tackle, one tackle, in 2 different games, they had 2 more wins, and this is the same problem for 3 years.
Yeah.
So, and Chase told me, Zach pretty much said what he said to the media to him, hey, you got to drop. We don't talk like that. Don't divide the locker room.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I think for me, message was fine, messenger was wrong for many parts of this situation, which is number one, yes, you just shouldn't say that because that'll make people think, even though they could be wrong, they will think that you're mad at them, that there's a beef. I also think that Chase Brown doesn't have the luxury that an A.J. Brown has, where they can just kind of say outlandish, oh, I'm pissed at these people for this problem, and people go, okay.
Well, let's delve into that because that's a big point I brought up on Sports of All Sorts.
Mm-hmm.
Who in that Bengals locker room either has the cred or will, so you have to have both cred and will, to call out their teammates?
Because that's the thing. The person who has the cred who would be able to do it
is Joe Burrow.
Well, it would be Joe Burrow or Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase has already made it clear.
I'm
not talking to the other side.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not in charge of them. They don't want to hear from me, whatever, which I think is the right approach.
Oh, I asked him about that, too. I said, because he's been big on, I'm a captain for the first time this year. I'm a leader for the first time. And when I asked him, do you say something as a leader, as a teammate? He goes, no, I wouldn't want no defensive player getting on me about my whatever.
Yeah, which I think is fair, like I'd be like, what do you know about me doing this? Back
Totally,
off.
totally.
But it comes back to the problem that you presented the last time we recorded, which was the captains for the defense.
Well, one plays for Dallas now.
Yeah, one is gone, famously.
Logan Wilson plays with the Cowboys now.
And one is still hurt and still in a contract beef with the Bengals.
Oh, yeah.
So who's really going to be the person on defense who's going to step up and tell people, hey, we got to pull it together?
No one. They have no one on defense. The last guy on that defense who was the combination of talented and a voice, who would say some outlandish things to the media sometimes, was DJ Reader, who now plays for the Detroit Lions.
Yes.
He was a gravedigger, as he liked to say, and he would say stuff. When he got into the fight with Elton Jenkins in training camp against the Packers, came into the locker room, that guy's a jag, just a guy. Like, you need guys like that, because people wouldn't mess with DJ Reader. He was a leader in that locker room. When he went out and got hurt that year, his last game for the Bengals, and he was carted off with a leg injury, like, you felt a gut punch to that Bengals locker room. Mike Hilton used to be that guy.
Yeah.
But then his play declined before he had to leave.
A lot of them just got too old.
They just got too old. And the issue is nobody, as they got older, came in underneath. Mm-hmm. And there's no guy in that Bengals locker room who's nasty. No one's nasty. There's no Vontaze Burfict. Not that he's good for the NFL, but he's good for your locker room. The Bengals consistently had a second to fifth best defense in the NFL statistically when Vontaze Burfict was on the team, when Pac-Man Jones was on the team. You need wild cards.
Yeah.
And if you look around the NFL, the guys that are a little, say some crazy stuff, like, they're on good defenses.
Yeah.
Like, but you don't even have to be crazy. Look at the Steelers with T.J. Watt. T.J. Watt's a leader.
Yeah. Well, and they also have Jalen Ramsey, who is the kind of crazy
exactly.
that you want. Yeah.
Pat Surtain.
Mm-hmm. We need a Bengals defensive player who has a podcast. That's what we need. We need one.
Could have gotten Micah Parsons.
Yeah, we need one of those guys. They like to talk all the time.
Well, Logan Wilson had a podcast, but it was too wholesome.
Yeah.
I mean, like, listen if you want to, but it was like very wholesome. It was, his wife did a lot of it, and like, if you like that stuff, by all means.
But it's not the I'm going to talk about the team we're playing next week vibe that we might need. So.
You just need someone nasty. You like, and honestly, it could be Trey Hendrickson if he wasn't in all these contract issues.
Yeah.
But he is.
And it's hard when a lot of the guys, because for a lot of the complaints that people have about the front office and the decisions that they make, they keep a lot of their rookies. Like, their rookies stay with them, but all of the defensive guys are pretty young. Like, wouldn't it be crazy? Yes. But wouldn't it be crazy to hear, like, Jordan Battle,
Jordan Battle talks a lot. He's not playing good football right now.
Yeah, but he's also, like, young, and who's going to be like, yeah, I guess, awesome.
So Jordan Battle's the interesting case. And I'll go back. It also reminds me of Cam Taylor-Britt, who's not playing well this season. Cam Taylor-Britt would be that guy, but he's not playing well enough, so he can't be that guy. Jordan Battle, Nick Saban said that at Alabama, it was Bryce Young was the guy in the offense. Jordan Battle was the guy in the defense. For Nick Saban to say that, that's some high praise. But Jordan Battle, I think maybe, he's a little young, a little immature, and he's made some big plays for the Bengals this season. Him choosing not to tackle and wrap up Colston Loveland on the Bears is the reason they lost.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, if he had tackled him, they probably would have still gotten
it. It would have been a far field goal.
But, yes.
So I did speak with Jordan Battle, and, everyone's asking about Joe Burrow on Monday, and I'm like, all right, like, it's a good distraction, but let's talk about the issue.
Yeah.
So I asked him about on the bye week, like, respectfully, on the bye week, you guys get away, you have time to think, what can the defense do? How can you get better? And he goes on to this whole long PR safe answer. But then he said something that stands out. Get more guys to the ball carrier so you don't have to solo tackle. That's obviously always a good plan.
Sure.
But it also feels like you don't have confidence in solo tackling.
Yeah.
Which at times you need to do that.
Well, I mean, the reports were, and I wasn't there, but at practice for the past, 2 weeks, they've been doing basic tackling drills.
Yeah.
So clearly they know that they cannot tackle solo right now.
They've been doing basic tackling drills, but I don't think those help you. You need to tackle.
Well, I mean, if you're in the NFL at this point, I don't think a basic tackle.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that stuff doesn't help you.
Yeah.
Like, you need to go out. To me, and this is what frustrates me about the tackling. It's a hurt thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's you have to want it more than the other guy. I remember a coach once told me, and this was when I was growing up, like playing high school basketball. A coach once said to me, ask the team, on 4th and 1 at the goal line, 4th and goal on the 1 yard line, who wins that situation more, the offense or the defense? Team that wants it more.
Yeah.
That's what tackling is.
Mm-hmm.
Lou Anarumo used to say that. We just gotta want to do it.
You just need dogs who want to go out there and do what they can.
They don't have that. If you look at that Jordan Battle attempted tackle on Colston Loveland, he just tried to make a big hit.
Yeah. No wrap.
Bring him to the ground.
Yeah, it was rough. And not just Battle. I mean,
no,
there
it's not
two other guys.
It's the whole team.
Yeah.
The whole team's got to tackle. Like, I don't think Demetrius Stein has a huge tackling issue. His problem is, like, he's not there in time. Like, everyone's got an issue. Tackle the ball carrier. If they just tackle football, they'd be a really good team. It's crazy. They're like, what's the issue? It's tackling. What's been the issue last year? Tackling. If they tackled the last 2 years, they'd be in the playoffs every year since the Super Bowl.
What can they do against the Steelers offense that has been pretty terrible for the past 2 weeks? I mean, even when they beat the Colts because the Colts had 6 turnovers, and most of that was the Colts' fault.
Yeah.
So it's not like the
Steelers are a bad football team.
Yeah, but I mean, the Steelers' offense went berserk on the Bengals' defense during Thursday Night Football.
Yeah.
We remember well. They still lost, but they still got, over 30 points. How does this defense change it up this time to make sure that the Steelers don't score?
So I will say, with this current iteration of Bengals offense, I will give the defense a little tiny bit of slack that because the Bengals offense is scoring so much, the other team is going to be on the field playing high pace as well. So they might have more chances to score.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying that's a...
Well, yeah,
like they could still score over 20-something points.
Sure, but the Detroit Lions are also scoring at a, rapid pace.
Detroit Lions are a better football team.
Well, but I was going to say the Detroit Lions are scoring at a rapid pace. The defense is still giving up, 20 points,
That's
not
right.
30-something. Yes.
No, it's as simple... Yeah, you want to win the turnover battle, but if you just tackle, punts or turnovers.
I also think with the Steelers in specific, their O-line's pretty bad.
Yeah, and Aaron Rodgers isn't... But Aaron Rodgers does get the ball out very fast.
He does.
But besides DK Metcalf, I don't know who's catching the ball for them right now. Freiermuth.
Darnell Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a great.
No,
group of
I
people.
fully think the Bengals could go to Pittsburgh and win. They've already proven they can do it, and Joe Flacco's been incredible.
Yeah.
And I think he will continue it because there's no reason he can't.
Well, and the Steelers' defense is already taking more hits.
I don't like that the Steelers lost this week, though.
I would agree with you. However, that loss included more hits to the secondary, which just means more time for Joe Flacco to eat them up.
Mike Tomlin after a loss he's always a good coach, but Mike Tomlin after a loss is a great coach.
But as we discussed the last time they played Mike Tomlin against Joe Flacco,
so
it's not
Oh,
great.
Joe Flacco will be the Steelers quarterback next year.
If Mike Tomlin can make it happen, he will.
Well, why not?
Yeah.
Truthfully.
I agree.
Why wouldn't he? He's a free agent. Aaron Rodgers is on a 1-year deal.
People think he'll retire after this. Who's to say?
I don't even play that game. Ever since his predecessor, Brett Favre, I don't play that game.
I don't want to go too far into this, but I just really want to say this one thing, and that is we need to do a deep dive investigation into whether or not he has a wife.
He said he does.
Have you ever seen her?
No, but allegedly Joe Burrow brought his girlfriend to the holiday party, but it wasn't photographed.
We all know who Joe Burrow's girlfriend is. I don't think we have
But
to
my
dive
point
into
is, like,
that.
NFL players do this.
No, but I recently read a whole report
God.
where they interviewed WAGs, wives and girlfriends of Steelers players, who said, we've asked for her contact. We haven't heard anything. We've never seen this person.
Is she also immunized?
I'm starting to think that she lives in Canada.
Oh, and they only talk in sleepaway camp.
Yeah, that's what I'm starting to think. So just an investigation I would like to put on the table for a future time. Does Aaron Rodgers actually have a wife, or did he just do that? Literally, I should reach out because I'm like, did he just put a ring on and say, yeah, my wife,
That
Brittany.
I hope not, because that's serial killer-esque stuff. Like, and I know great quarterbacks. Like, there's a study about Joe Burrow that he has the same heartbeat as a serial killer.
Yeah.
I hope not. Oh, that just ruined my day. That there's people out there like that.
Let's keep our eyes and ears peeled at Paycor State, or not Paycor. They won't be at Paycor.
Acrisure
At
Field.
Acrisure
The
Field.
ketchup bottle. Heinz Field.
Heinz Field, and see if we can find Brittany, Aaron Rodgers' wife. I would like your score prediction.
Bengals 41, Steelers 35.
Honestly, that feels really good.
That's really good.
Yeah, I like that.
Bengals 41, Steelers 35.
Let's do it. Let's see what happens.
And how the game ends, the Steelers have the football.
Feels good.
The Steelers have the football, and there's a pass interference call that Aaron Rodgers gets, and they're within touchdown striking distance.
Which for him could be the 50-yard.
And Rodgers just misthrows the ball. The guy's open. Rodgers just misses him.
Okay.
That's my prediction.
I like it.
If I nail that, I'm moving to Vegas.
Okay. Let's talk about a team that we missed a pretty major loss for.
Yeah, Cincinnati Bearcats, they lost their first Big 12 game.
Uh-huh.
They lost on the road at night to Utah, which it didn't look good, but like
It was a pretty big L.
Yeah, what was it?
45 to 14, yeah.
Yeah, I know the guys were banged up at that point in the like. I'm playing at Utah at night. Like, it was locally what, like a 10:30 kick, 10:15 kick. Like, you can't lose that bad, but like, also I get it. Like,
Yeah.
if you're gonna drop one, that's the one you're probably gonna drop.
Yeah.
I almost prefer genuinely that they got their boots kicked in and not a tight loss. Like, just throw it out. Just throw it out. Because the Bearcats still control their own destiny. They had the bye week. They got healthy. And this is the stretch that matters. So they went into
win.
They got into the bye week at 25. They left the bye week 22. I always crack up when that happens.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, that's called winning the bye week. Go up 3 spots in the AP poll just by hanging out.
Yeah.
So they have Arizona this week. Arizona is good.
They are.
They have a veteran quarterback. They have a tough run game. This is a good football team coming to Nippert Stadium Saturday.
They've played a lot of people close.
They scored, what, like 50 points on Colorado?
They
It was
went.
not good.
They went to overtime with BYU, who's considered like.
And who the Bearcats have the next week.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say it's a get right game. It's a get right game against an actual hard competitor that you do have to like.
They have
try
no
against.
cakewalks the rest of the way.
No.
They had a couple earlier, but you have Arizona, then BYU, their toughest game on the schedule, and then the trap of traps.
Yep.
Last week of the season at TCU.
Mm-hmm.
If the Bearcats could go 3-0, they're punched, they're going to the Big 12 championship. And then from there, you win that, you're in the playoff. Short of that, if they go 2-1, there's a chance you need a lot of help.
Yeah. It's not gonna. It probably wouldn't.
It wouldn't happen. You would need a lot of help. But I'm not ruling it out. The easiest way to make the Big 12 championship is go 3-0.
Mm-hmm.
Easiest.
Just beat BYU, top 25 team BYU.
I was talking to Satterfield today. Brendan Sorsby obviously is getting all this hype. And this is the biggest 3-game stretch of his career. Like, this is like legacy-defining stuff for Sorsby. Like, this could be a Heisman campaign these 3 weeks. This could be a draft stock campaign these 3 weeks. With that said, outside of Sorsby, outside of Dante Corleone, the All-American defensive tackle, outside of the offensive line that's gotten a lot of love, I asked Satterfield, what's the position group you're looking at these last 3 weeks? The player. Because I'm like, he's not going to be a player. But give me a couple guys that if they perform well, you're going to see your team in Arlington. You're going to see your team in the Big 12 championship. And he started to give me coach speak, and then he was like, the wide receivers. Just thought that was really interesting. Cyrus Allen is second in the Big 12 in touchdowns, receptions.
Yeah, and against Utah, they had some injury issues with the receivers.
But he said if the wide receivers in that wide receiver room play to what they can, they will win the next 3 games. So obviously the defense still has to show up. You can't have just the wide receivers go crazy and the defense let up 60 points. but that's what you got. The wide receivers making plays.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was. I appreciated it. That was a real answer. So we talked about where UC could go, and they would likely play Texas Tech in the Big 12 championship.
I mean, they will play Texas Tech. I think Texas Tech is a lock already.
Not if they lose 2-3 games.
Yes.
No one's a lock yet.
In a magical world where Texas Tech will lose the next 3 games,
I used to work and live in West Texas. I used to cover Texas Tech. Do not count them in until they are in.
Yeah, but
I know it's different teams. But
yeah,
I'm
I was gonna say it's
telling
a little bit different, and I think they already have like the big wins that they need to make it.
Which makes it even more dangerous.
Sure.
I think they will be in. I'm just telling you. I am not counting them until they're in.
Yeah, right now ESPN has Utah as the highest chance to.
Which
play
makes
Texas
sense.
Tech.
They beat Cincinnati and.
But they lost to BYU.
So, which is the beautiful thing that if Cincinnati, they control their own destiny
If
because
Cincinnati
they play BYU.
beats BYU, it kind of evens out the loss to Utah and moves on. So ESPN currently has them at a 3% chance for winning the Big 12 championship. Winning, not making. They have them at a 3% chance at the college football playoff.
Well, that's the same thing, yeah, because if you win the championship, you're in the college football playoff. They're not getting an at-large bid.
What they actually have the biggest percentage of is going to the Alamo Bowl. That's
yeah,
what
I saw
have.
that. San Antonio's nice, but I don't care about the Alamo Bowl because no one's going to play.
Yeah.
If you're not in the playoff, no one plays. I heard a take today by someone I love that 1/4 of your NIL stipend should be held unless you play in your college football playoff, your bowl game. 1/4 of your stipend should be held unless you play in your bowl game, unless you're seriously injured with like a broken leg.
Yeah.
Never would happen, but I love that.
I even think though with that, like if you were a top projection, like if you were Cam Ward last year, remember he didn't play.
I don't like that, but I'm actually more okay with that. What I don't like is the wide receiver 2, who's about to enter the transfer portal, doesn't want to get hurt. Mm-hmm. That's what I don't like. Okay. If it's like a star, we've been having that for forever. Like, yeah, if you don't want to play in the Alamo Bowl, like you wouldn't do that for like the Rose Bowl, but like the Cotton Bowl, the Orange Bowl, if you don't want to play in the Alamo Bowl, the Fenway Bowl, the Pinstripe Bowl, the Hawaii Bowl, if you don't want to play in one of those, fine. Mm-hmm. But unless you're like a first-round pick, I don't want to hear it.
I like it. I like that idea.
Yeah.
So they need to win out. That's the gist.
They need to win out. And because truthfully, win or loss, they're going to switch that Valero Alamo Bowl 3 times.
Yeah.
Before. Like it's bowl games. Who the hell knows? And honestly, who the heck cares? I care-ish.
I was about to say, I feel like you should care if you're going.
If I'm
Which city you go to.
Well, yeah, but like I want to watch real football games.
Sure, yeah.
Like
I mean, USC is like a real team.
No. I'm not knocking USC. I just if they all played, if USC and Cincinnati both played their starters, I'd be pumped for that game. Mm-hmm. Because I think it'd be a great match. I think Cincinnati would beat them.
Yeah.
But if I'm gonna go watch a walk-on freshman quarterback play, I have no interest. Maybe I'll have interest in him in 3 years.
Yeah.
When he's the starter.
But not currently. Not into it.
Like, I want to see Brendan Sorsby playing a bowl game. Like we earned that as fans, as reporters. Like we earned watching the best players play. Mm-hmm. And they've earned being able to play. Speaking of guys being able to play, FC Cincinnati. It was a wild series. Best of 3. They against Columbus. Hell is real. Cincinnati wins a game at home, game 1. A week later, they get whooped 4-0 in Columbus. Game back here, I was there Saturday night. Cincinnati defeats Columbus. Brenner has 2 goals. I love that Brenner was about to come out. Head coach Pat didn't want to take Brenner out of the game. Brenner goes, I'm going to score another goal. And he does. Sick. Nick Hagland, what a story. Mm-hmm. From Cincinnati, played at Xavier. Honestly, he could have been our Cincy dude in the news. But I like the one better, honestly. Sorry, Nick.
Nick has more chances.
He does. Defensively, he was phenomenal. 2 years ago, he couldn't even walk due to an injury, so he didn't get to play in that playoff game against Columbus. This time, he was jumped into the Bailey afterwards, and he was such a key player of the game. We talked to him after the game. I love what he told Caleb and I. how he said, it was so big to win this because as a Cincinnati sports fan, I know our playoff woes. To get one for the city was huge. And against Columbus, and truthfully, I don't think it should, but I think it saved Pat Noonan's job. I don't think it should be. I think Pat Noonan's job should have been safe no matter what, the head coach of the FC Cincinnati. I think it's definitely safe because they're advancing. So
we don't need to get too far into what comes next because it won't be this weekend. It'll be next weekend.
But real quick, all that matters, Inter Miami coming Lionel Messi 2 weeks from now. We'll talk more about that next week. But
yeah. And don't even try to get tickets.
I saw it starting at $1,100.
Yeah, it's insane. Don't even look it up.
I've covered a few Messi games. I've seen Messi in person in Europe before. It's not it's a scene, but take out your pension. I hope actually.
Please don't take out your pension to see Messi.
No, not at this age. If you go back in time, maybe not now.
Did you see the rumors that he's gonna leave after this year?
Yeah, which is why I think MLS is gonna rig it for him to win the cup.
Oh, I love that theory.
Oh, I have a big theory about this.
Okay.
I think the reason they're playing Sunday at 5, I heard this from another reporter who I'll remain nameless because I don't think they want this out there that this was them. But I think the reason the game is Sunday at 5, they told me this, I'm like, oh, that's so good. Messi didn't want to play at night and be cold, so they moved it to 5. Messi and Inter Miami didn't want to have to play on Saturday to shorten their international break, so they made them the Sunday game, because it could have been Saturday, Sunday, anytime. Because the Bengals play at 1 at home, and the security staff, the reason the FC Cincinnati didn't play their first game against Columbus on a Sunday was because of the Bengals. They played on Monday instead. Why wouldn't you play on Saturday this week if it's the same issues? Because we're talking about staffing, not because of fans, because of the security staff. So then, I also think if this is all about Messi, which obviously it is, 10% of the Apple TV rights. So if you're an FC Cincinnati fan and you watch FC Cincinnati on Apple TV, or if you're an Atlanta United fan or whatever, you have an Apple TV subscription, part of your subscription goes to Messi's contract.
Quite literally, yeah.
That's literally all they care about. So if Messi might leave or might not leave, he wants to win an MLS Cup championship.
Which he has not done.
He has not done. So wouldn't this be the year to do it when he's debating leaving?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't expect to call a single one. We'll talk more about that next week. Hoops. Xavier's really bad. Xavier's a bad basketball team. I think Richard Pitino could be the answer long term. There's nothing he can do this year. Yeah,
you suggested that they could lose, but you said to Marist,
which they almost did.
They barely beat Marist, and then Tuesday they actually did lose.
They lost bad to Santa Clara. Santa Clara's probably a tournament team, so I'm not going to how did you lose to Santa Clara? But you can't lose by that much. 87 to 68 to Santa Clara.
It's pretty at home.
At home at the Cintas Center. That was bad.
Yeah, blocking my way into my home.
Yeah.
For that game.
Yeah, no, not good. Not good. I noticed Richard Pitino didn't have a report card after that game.
Yeah, I didn't.
Interesting.
Didn't post anything?
No post that time. Probably smart. Xavier's not good. They might not get into double-digit wins this year. But, hey, that's why they play the games. UC, they played tonight, so you'll already know the score. They played Dayton. I think this is actually a very telling game to see what they are.
Yeah.
But I also don't know what Cincinnati will be this year. There's guys on the team that excite me. Shauna Baev, who is the second highest rated player since 247 Sports ever came out to play at Cincinnati. The other one being Lance Stevenson, a perennial NBA player for years and years. Shauna Baev really excites me. He was
good in the last game.
Yeah, he's a McDonald's All-American. Yeah. UC's only had a handful of those in their history. Mustafa Cham. Mustafa Cham, 7'2". He excites me because I feel like between him and Baba, they have two good big guys. Shauna Baev excites me. Day Thomas is good, but I'm worried about Big 12 play. I don't know how they'll do.
Yeah, they play Louisville before Thanksgiving, I think.
They have a Friday Louisville game, so that'll be another one. Louisville, Kentucky tonight, obviously. We'll see what happens there.
Don't want to talk about that right now.
we don't have that much time left anyway, because I want to talk about baseball. What else is new? Four score and 7 years ago, the Dodgers won the World Series back-to-back years. Yoshinobu Yamamoto was the freak. Shohei Ohtani, freak.
Positive. Parentheses, positive connotation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Also, Yamamoto dodging the paparazzi. Did you see that video?
Yes,
I get it. But also, kind of funny. But let's talk baseball as a bigger picture because Dodgers won the World Series a decade ago. Awards starting to come out. 'Tis award season. Yes. Terry Francona, we'll know tomorrow. He's up for NL Manager of the Year. To me, it's a shoo-in.
I agree. It's either him or the Brewers manager.
Yeah, Pat Murphy.
Yeah.
But I would give it to Francona because the Brewers are doing it every year. And I know playoffs aren't supposed to matter, but they got dog walked in the playoffs, the Brewers.
By the same team that the Reds did.
But the difference is the Reds, if you look at the Reds' difference from last season to this season, with minimal changes, they went from one of the worst teams in the National League Central to a playoff team.
Mm-hmm.
What was the difference? A manager. Yes, Andrew Abbott played at an all-star level. The pitching staff got older. Everyone was a little bit more mature. But even Elly De La Cruz led all shortstops in Major League Baseball in errors. And he was able to compensate for all that.
Mm-hmm.
Terry Francona, I was in that clubhouse this year. I've been in the clubhouse the last few years. It was different. Terry Francona should absolutely be the manager of the year. Key Brian Hayes won the Gold Glove at third base. He's a vacuum.
Yeah.
He's so fun to watch. He came from the Pirates midseason. Wish he hit better.
Yeah, that was always the knock on him when he came here, though.
But it was like maybe he just needed to change the scenery.
Yeah.
And he did. He had a couple
He did a little
streaks.
bit better, but.
But yeah, he is fun to watch play third base. He is smooth. Speaking of Reds that won a Gold Glove at third base, there's only been two. Key Brian Hayes and Scott Rowland. Why is Scott Rowland relevant? He's a Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
He's relevant because the Reds announced their Modern Player Hall of Fame vote. What is the criteria? Because when you ask, is Scott Rowland a Reds Hall of Famer? I'm like, he was here for like a cup of coffee. He was here. But here's the criteria. At least 3 seasons with the Reds. 5 years have passed since their final Major League season. No more than 15 years have passed since their final Major League season. Yeah, he was a 2-time All-Star and a Gold Glove winner here, but is that like, I don't know. Homer Bailey's on the list, Francisco Cordero, Zach Cozart, Aaron Harang, Mike Leake, Scott Rowland, Edinson Valquez, and Brandon Phillips, that dude BP, baby. Come
I was waiting
on.
for you.
Come on. Is there even a question? Brandon Phillips he's that dude.
Yeah, it's a lock for Brandon Phillips. There's no way
He better be. People our age, he was him.
No, I remember him well.
And I mean, I grew up in New Jersey, and Brandon Phillips was one of my favorite players. He was the smoothest defensive player. He made second base cool. Second base is not cool. Mm-hmm. Second base is where you put the guy who can't make the throw from shortstop when you're a kid, and it's like, I don't really trust him to catch a fly ball. And hopefully the first shortstop can compensate. Brandon Phillips made second base cool. Between the legs plays. He had so much swag. The flat brim hat to the side. He raked. When Brandon Phillips got a hold of one, it was swaggy. He had I think he has the Red second base record for doubles, hits, all the things. Brandon Phillips, culture Hall of Fame. He is for the culture of baseball. When we talk about baseball needs guys, Brandon Phillips was that guy.
Yeah, I saw him recently at a WWE event.
Sick.
He's married to a WWE superstar.
That's amazing.
Yeah. He's married to Jade Cargill, who's a women. I think she's literally the women's heavyweight champion, and he was. He's ringside at her events.
Brandon Phillips is married to the WWE Women's Heavyweight Champion.
I think so. Yeah.
That guy's a legend.
He is. And she is one of the buffest people I've ever seen in my entire life. Imagine coming across.
Do you know how secure you have to be as a man?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, Brandon Phillips.
She's cool, yeah.
Heck yeah. So, I'm not sure if you know where my vote's going. I don't have a vote, but imagine.
No, fans vote.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
But I don't have a Hall of Fame vote like
Sure.
the Cooperstown. I love Brandon Phillips. I had Brandon Phillips jersey. I had a jersey. A Brandon Phillips jersey.
Yeah.
But growing up a Mets fan, living in New Jersey, to have a Cincinnati Reds jersey
is random.
No, it wasn't, because he was at that dude BP. Literally every MLB Live fantasy draft that I would play in video games, Brandon Phillips was on the team. I love that guy. I really hope he's a nice guy. I've never met him.
I haven't either, but maybe you will when he gets inducted into the.
I know. Oh, because that I don't have a lot of letdowns with athletes because I've really Oh my God! I'm not putting that into the universe.
He'll be great. He'll be amazing. He'll be so nice.
Yeah. All right. We've teased this. We only have a couple minutes left. Cincy, due to the news, Queen, I will let you introduce me to this because when you told me this earlier, I was like, who's gonna what?
Yeah. And I think that's
Period.
I think that's exactly what people will say when you say the name, which is Cincy Dude of the Week, our well-known, our super famous, the son of Cincinnati, Russell Wilson.
The football player?
Yes, Russell Wilson.
That's crazy.
I was watching Jackson Dart. He gets hurt. I see Russell Wilson come in, and I'm just kind of like in my brain thinking about Russell Wilson, what I know of Russell Wilson.
As one does.
Where he went to college, all this kind of stuff. And I thought, I don't know where Russell Wilson's from.
I think he just came from a Subway commercial.
In my brain, I'm like, he's got to be like this Midwestern guy. Like, it's giving Midwestern wholesome-esque man.
Interesting. That's what gives you?
Yeah.
To me, he gives like kind of like Southern California, but like Orange County.
Okay.
Not like LA, San Diego.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying by that. But I Googled him, and the first thing I see is born Cincinnati, Ohio. And I went, stop it right now.
All roads lead back to Cincinnati.
Yeah, stop the cameras. I need to Google this. I went deep. I found an old Inquirer article from when he played for the Seahawks and came to play the Bengals, where they interviewed his brother and uncle. Russell Wilson's dad is from Falmouth, Kentucky.
Okay.
Moved to Cincinnati, became a lawyer for P&G. His mom went to Xavier for nursing.
Okay,
worked at UC. His brother went to Summit Day. All this stuff.
Oh, so like we're not talking like he was just born here. Like he has like some roots here.
He has legitimate roots in this area. But Russell Wilson, born at Christ Hospital, then moved to Richmond, Virginia when he was 1 year old. His dad got a different job. They moved. He still would come back, though, every so often to visit family because his dad's entire family still lives in this area. So when he did this interview, when he came with the Seahawks however long ago, he was like, yeah, I still come all the time. And in pure Russell Wilson fashion, the quote was, yeah, I was born in the nasty natty, which I was obsessed with.
Seahawks connections to Cincinnati are low-key crazy because you have Sean Alexander.
Yes.
Matt Hasselbeck has connections here.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's got nephews and everything in this area. I don't know if he's from. He has a lot of ties to
Somehow
Cincinnati.
connected, yeah.
One
other thing
crazy.
I wanted to know, his dad was a football player, played at Dartmouth with Reggie Williams, former Bengals linebacker.
Dartmouth famous for being an actual like head coaching football factory. People don't know that.
I didn't know that, yeah. When he moved to Cincinnati, him and Reggie Williams got really close again after
that
they
was
played
UNH.
together.
I take it back. They're both in New Hampshire though.
Same thing. But they got like reconnected, became really close friends, and Russ's family would go to Bengals games like with Reggie's tickets. Reggie would give them his tickets.
So cool.
And so they were still really close to Reggie throughout like his childhood.
Oh.
But of course, he's just the younger brother, so he was here the least amount of time.
All right. Well, hey, learn something new. Russell Wilson, since he did in the news because he played this week.
Yeah.
And he's from here.
Well, because he
No, it was
randomly
great.
played.
No, that was great. that was a great one. That one made me happy. I think that's all that is all the time we have.
Yeah.
But thanks so much. Subscribe, like, comment, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, all the things. Our numbers are doing okay.
I believe so.
Like we're rising, and that's because of you guys doing the things. Thank you for doing the things. Interact with us on social media at Marshall Kramsky.
Let us know if you want us to talk about something else that we're not talking about.
Yeah, happy
any
to do
takes
that.
you have, anything like that.
Oh, yeah. Send us takes. And if you send us a good take, like I'm not going to say every take, but if you send us a good take, we'll say it. I might steal it. I won't steal it. I'll give you credit.
I won't let him steal it.
Okay. Well, thanks so much. Relax. It's just sports. See you next week.